Well, it's in the books. I was like, the game's over. Them Eagles. Don't get confused by the score. Don't get confused by the score. The Eagles beat down the Vikings. It was really much a wrap. To be honest, it really wasn't as good of a game as it looked at all. Both teams were really sluggish. I feel like it's really they really just seemed like they were still on week one timing. Um, I think it really just more just I was like it's more of the Vikings and the turnovers and the Eagles just sticking to the run game. That's really kind of was and it was a really like good defensive game. Don't get me wrong, the Eagles should have it was really weird. They like I know they want to run the ball. You know, they got a multitude of backs. You know, you got Jalen Hurts also able to run the ball, but they were just doing that a lot in this game. Even though Hurts had a bunch of yards, it didn't like it really clicked more like in the third quarter more than anything. But it just didn't it wasn't there. It wasn't feeling like like we have yet to feel how the Eagles were last year pretty much. It still is like a work in progress, a filling out. I was like I really like Swift into like the whole Eagles. It gives them I think a more dynamic back than Sanders was. Like Sanders was solid and he was good, but I feel like Swift is what you sort of wanted Sanders to be. He's a lot more elusive, and he also reads the holes and is able to read where net like to go. Even though like the play says here he could go out, but I felt like they were just running with Hurts quite a bit in a way that just seemed like what are you trying to do here? Like I'm not saying that they should have just came out and you got Smith and you got Brown and Goddard and you should just be throwing across the whole lot. That's not what I'm saying. But like in the first quarter they were pretty much getting booed by the whole crowd, and I was like, I get that it's Philly, but the fact that they're already getting booed sort of tells you that they're all like, what are we doing? With all this talent, with all these weapons, why are we not unleashing Wentz here? The Vikings don't have that good of a defense, even though they were playing Hurts really well. They were really containing them for the most part, and they really had them a lot of times. It really was the offense that really killed them, but the defense actually had a good plan to go up against Hurts, and the Eagles just kept on sort of going into their hands for a while. Like it was just like it's like okay, cool. I know this is part of the game, these reads and stuff like that. But come on, why are we still trying to get them? Trying to run them, and But then they started doing like a couple short passes, and then they finally hit Smith on a bomb. They got themselves out of a hole enough, and the running game wore on the Vikings at a certain point. But the Vikings just kept biting themselves in the foot. uh I was like they had like a couple they had a couple fumble snaps. I was like I was like they had I think the real momentum or the real changer was really once Jefferson lost the ball for a touchback, and I felt like that sort of really stuck it in a way, even though it was still early, it's only going into halftime. But I was like, he lost the ball where they would at least had a chance for a three, and basically, and like the tie or to take. I was like, but they could have taken the lead at the same time. There's still been enough time for them to get a pass off. But then after that, for the Eagles to then pretty much go on the opposite end, it's like they was really just running the ball to run the clock out, and they was able to basically get like a 60-yard field goal and go up on the Vikings. And after that, and the way the game sort of was, where it was just slow and it was I don't even know how to say methodical, but it was just that's how it just felt monotone the whole time. That's the kind of thing that sort of changed. That's the kind of thing that can sort of get the game. Like it's not like we're going back and forth point fest where like 3 point like I'm like we got that no matter what. It was really like no in these type of a field goal gonna matter, kicking gonna matter. Like the whole them getting touchdowns and all this other stuff with points that didn't happen till later on, and that's fool's goals. That was really nothing. Um, like I said, I thought the Eagles would win still over the Vikings, and just week 2, so it's nothing crazy to go home about or nothing. But you've also seen like Jefferson to be like disappointed here the last couple weeks, and yeah, I mean, you don't want anybody. You're not gonna be excited after losing the game anyway. But it looks defeating more than like, hey, damn, we lost the game. It looked like, man, here we go with this BS again. That's how it looked. That's how it looks on his face right here, right now. Like they're just, and also too, I guess it's also disappointing that it's like you got 3 receivers. Osborne who broke out last year. You got Jefferson, of course. You get Addison in the draft. You got Hawkinson as well, and Madison who's replacing Cook. I was like, he fumbled, and you're not. It's not smooth. It's not smooth sailing, but it's not smooth on how it looks them getting their offense, and it just looked like they should be. It should be a lot more easier. Where it's like, okay, we got Jefferson pretty much taking the coverage. Y'all should be freed up pretty much. Hawkinson is a really good tight end. It should move better. But I was like, it's like that on the Eagles side too. It just wasn't. It should have moved better than what it was. And like I said, I'm not saying that it should have been like 40-40 or something like that. But you just, I was like, but sometimes like the drive it just seemed like it wasn't, like it was happening, but it's just not as you playing, not as you playing when you figure out the offense they should have. That's what I'm really trying to say. But I was like, but the Eagle came out to win. It wasn't anything crazy or spectacular. It's not as wild as like Monday night where Josh Allen was throwing the interception across the lot, but it was that type of game where the turnover killed the team that was causing the turnover when it was that amount of turnovers. Um, but yeah, no, the Eagle came out with a win. Wasn't a great Thursday night football game, but Vikings 0-2, and I was like, I think they're in a little bit tougher division, so we'll see how they're gonna catch up. But it's still early in the year, so no, I was like, nobody putting weight on this right now, as it is. Even though looking back, you might be like, Vikings should have beat the Bucks because we weren't expecting that game, and here they had a chance early on at least. But anyway, that's my little 2 cents. That's how the game goes. If you like this video, I appreciate it. Thanks. If not, hey, maybe next time. But until then, I'm out.